Hey everybody, today I'm going to do my full review of the Milwaukee M18 FUEL Cordless Sawzall. This has their brushless motor and it is a big upgrade over previous designs or designs from other manufacturers. This has the power, actually it's more powerful I feel than the corded models, and it has just been amazing. I've used it for the last 3 weeks doing a ton of different projects around the property, around the house, and in the shop, and it has not let me down at all. I change the different blades depending on what I'm working with, but this will cut right through anything I've tried, whether that's metal, plastic, wood, or even pruning trees outside. It has done everything and done everything without failure. I was able to videotape a lot of these different clips to show you just the versatility of the Sawzall, and I think you're going to be amazed at the power and speed that it has. Next, I'm going to show you what comes inside the case, and then I'm going to show you all of those clips that I recorded so you can see this thing in action. The 2720-22 model comes with this real nice blow molded case that has 2 metal latches at the top as well as a nice plastic handle to carry everything around in. To open it up, you just need to pop the latches open and then the case will unfold in half. Inside we have the 2720-20 tool itself. That is the tool without any batteries attached. So that's the Sawzall itself. And then there's one battery pack that already comes installed on it. And we have a second battery pack in here, as well as a charger and then blade storage. I have used blades in here because I've been using this extensively, but it comes with this small little thin kerf blade. I think it's more of like a universal blade or a metal cutting blade comes with it. And then in the lid, there are 2 different operators manuals. We have one for the Sawzall itself, and then once again we have one for the charger and the batteries. So if you have any questions about how anything works, it's all covered in these operators manuals that are stored right here in the lid. If you had the 2720-21 model, then it would come with 1 battery and then there would still be space for a second battery in the case. However, it would only come with 1 battery in the kit. But because this is the 22, it comes with 2 batteries. Now, a couple things I want to point out with the Sawzall itself. That is, the batteries, of course, have the fuel gauge on them. So if you press this button on the back, it will tell you how much of a charge is remaining. This one is fully charged, so you can see 4 bars of power. And with the Red Lithium batteries, they are fade-free batteries, so from start to finish, when they're fully charged to when they're discharged, the battery is going to put out the exact same amount of power to the tool. So you will not have better performance when the tool is basically fully charged and then it would deteriorate. You will have full charge all the way to the end when the tool would just shut off. On the top of the tool, it's very easy to adjust the shoe. You fold this little tab down and then the shoe will slide in or out depending on how deep that you want to go. So if your blade was dull right here, for example, you could adjust the shoe out to another point on the blade that was not dull and still use the same blade. It has a LED light on the top of it, so it lights up and it stays lit up for about 10 seconds after you release the trigger, so that lights up your work area very nicely, as well as this hook built on the side. Now, I've heard these referred to as rafter hooks, but I actually use them with everything that I worked on, whether that was working on pruning trees to automotive uses, just hanging around the shop. I could hang this on my tool cart and hang it on the shop press. So really it's more of a universal hook, even though I think it was intended for carpenters or contractors to use as a rafter hook. To change the battery, it's very easy. It's just like their slide rail system with all the other M18 line tools. You press the 2 tabs in and the battery will slide right off. To install the new battery, you just pop it back on there. They have a locking mechanism here at the top, so you can press this button and the trigger locks, or you press this side and the trigger unlocks. So it's very, very easy, and with this extremely nice blow molded over mold grip on here, it's really easy to hang on to. So now stay tuned and watch all of the cuts that this made with no problem whatsoever. Last week I put an entire MagnaFlow exhaust system on this 2000 Dodge Ram 2500 turbo diesel. And the customer decided that they wanted a slip-on chrome tip afterwards. So what I'm doing today is I'm taking the M18 FUEL Sawzall with a torch Milwaukee blade, and I'm going to cut the end of the pipe off so that new slip-on tip will fit on here. Took it right off. I took a file around the outer edge just to clean off the burrs, and now the chrome tip will slide right on the 4-inch exhaust. I need to replace this post, so I'm going to use the Sawzall with a blade turned upside down to cut the nails out. That way the post will slide out of the way and then I can put the new one in. So I'm going to slide this behind this front board to cut all the nails. And that's how quick it goes. Now I'm going to use the M18 FUEL Sawzall with the torch blade to cut through a steel pipe. Cut right through it. A large group of people that are going to be using a Sawzall are plumbers. And the biggest concern that a plumber would have when cutting into a water pipe was to make sure that it would be free of water. Because if you cut into a water pipe with water in it, that water wants to flow down the blade and then into the Sawzall itself, which could burn something up. But Milwaukee thought about this, and I actually heard back from them. They said that they have a upgraded bushing and seal at the end of this blade to prevent water from going into the gearbox itself. So if water flows down the blade, it will hit that gearbox and it will go out the bottom down here before it even reaches the motor housing. And if water for some reason gets in the motor housing itself, they have special coatings on the electronics inside to prevent damage. So what I'm going to do now is saw into these display pipes that I put up. I filled these up with water and put caps on the ends. And I'm going to cut into these, and I'm probably going to get soaking wet, but you'll see water flow down this blade into the Sawzall itself and back out the bottom, and nothing is going to be harmed. So it's better to watch me do this than test it out with your own Sawzall. But these pipes are full of water, and I'm going to be cutting into them now to show you that the Sawzall can handle it. Okay, the first pipe is going to be just a standard 1/2-inch CPVC water line. I'll go ahead and cut into that now, and I'll try to keep it at an angle where the water will flow down the blade into the Sawzall itself. And you can see, well, maybe you can see the ends wet, water flowed into there, but when I cut into this 1.5-inch PVC pipe, it's really going to come flowing out on me. Here's the 1.5-inch PVC pipe. I have about 1.5 gallons of water in here, so it should come out fairly well. And you can see water's flowing right down on the Sawzall. And it's soaking wet, and so am I. But we did get to show you that the water is coming out the bottom of the housing down here, and those seals prevented the water from getting inside the Sawzall itself. Next, I'm going to use the M18 FUEL to slice right through this pressure-treated 4x4 post. We live on about 3 acres of partially wooded land, and because I put a pruning blade on this, it saves me from having to fire up the chainsaw to just clean up some smaller trees or tree branches. So I'm going to show you how quick this will cut through everything. pruning blade. It cuts right through it just like a chainsaw, but you're not getting covered with all that smoke and that smell. And also it's a lot quieter for your neighbors, and really easy with the battery pack. When you're done, you put it right back inside. Now I'm gonna try and cut through a bowling pin. These are made out of solid maple and they are extremely hard. Typically I use these as shooting targets with my handguns because you can shoot them with hundreds of rounds and they will not blow apart. But I'm gonna put it in the vise, and then I put the axe blade on the Sawzall, and I'm gonna see if this will cut down through the center of this. I'm gonna cut through the widest section. So I'm gonna place this in the vise. And then I'm going to take the M18 Sawzall and I'm going to cut straight through the center of this. There it is, it cut straight through the center of a hardened maple bowling pin. Now I'm going to use the double duty thin kerf blade to cut through this electrical conduit. And what Sawzall review video would be complete without the famous 2x4 test? Well, now you've seen for yourself just how powerful the Milwaukee M18 FUEL Cordless Sawzall really is. Like I said, this comes with the M18 Red Lithium XC 4.0 batteries. Those provide the absolute most power to this tool. And really, if you don't have multiple batteries already, get one with the 2 battery pack, which is the 2720-22 model, because you never want to have a cordless tool and then run out of power midway through a job. And with the 2 battery packs, you can always keep one on the charger, and then when you run out of power, you have a fresh one ready to go. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe, and thanks for watching.